You said that the stack query doesn't work in Oracle. How did you found it? Or I think that it worked.
Can you repeat that again?
Stacked queries.
Oh, stack query.
Yeah, and you said that they doesn't work in Oracle.
It doesn't work on most of the application. You mean doesn't work on MySQL PHP?
No. There was some table, and there was Oracle, and stack queries is not supported or something like that. Yeah, I think they are supported.
When I talk about the stack query, so I just focus on the database connector that I know, which does not support stack query. And because if you can see like oracles, right? Oracles are basically, and all the applications that I listed down before do not support stack query. So when I talk about MySQLs, basically they are some MySQL support stack query or not stack query. But what I focus today is basically on non-stack query because you hardly find a MySQL ASP.NET compared in what you find in MySQL PHP.
Anyone else? No one? Okay, thanks.
Well, you mentioned some PL/SQL functions in Oracle that were vulnerable. Could you list them?
I don't really get it.
You told us that this stacked query doesn't work in Oracle. But,
oh yeah, I mentioned about the stack query by default does not work on Oracle. So if you have your Oracle server without any procedure, vulnerable procedures, but you have your SQL injection vulnerability there, so basically you can't conduct remote code execution. So it only works on if you can inject in the anonymous PL/SQL blocks. So, but anyway, when you talk about oracles, a lot of people just focus on the Oracle application server itself because the application server contains a lot of vulnerable PL/SQL. So when you have these, because when you have a procedure, right, so you basically can inject in the middle, which means you can use stack query. But if just a normal SQL statements, a vulnerability that use a normal SQL syntax, right? If you use stack query, it's not going to work. So that is why when I talk about oracles, basically I focus about all these vulnerable procedures that already been existed there, but it's not the application that a web developer write.
Thank you.
Any last questions? No hands? All right. In that case, I would say thank you very much.
Okay.
And yeah, some round of applause.